Thank you, Mayor and Council. Bob Weeks, 2451 Regency Lakes Court. I think at the public hearing that we need to have a serious discussion about these consumer improvement districts from a consumer protection and a consumer education standpoint. In Lawrence, Kansas, the mayor and some council members there are considering having businesses put warning signs up warning shoppers that they may pay extra sales tax if they purchase things within certain high tax districts that the city of Lawrence is considering. You know, most people are aware of what their state sales tax rate is. They're aware of maybe what the city sales tax is. But as we start to build more and more special tax districts throughout the state, people are not generally aware that if I cross the street to buy something at a store, I may pay significantly more in tax than if I stayed on one side of the street. So how are customers supposed to know this type of thing? I think it's a consumer protection and consumer education type of issue. This is especially important, I think, well, for the present item on the agenda, this hotel. You know, some people on this bench believe that having visitors to our city pay extra tax is a wise economic development strategy. I happen to disagree with that. You know, the bills that come from this hotel, a lot of them are going to be submitted to corporate expense departments. They're going to look at the bill and they're going to see very high sales tax charged at this particular hotel. And they may wonder, is this the sales tax rate for the entire city of Wichita? Do we want to do more business in Wichita where we have to pay this high sales tax? Or if they realize that this extra sales tax applies only to this hotel, they may wonder, well, why did the city recommend that I stay at a hotel that charges higher tax than other comparable type of hotels? I think that's a serious issue. In the retail district that's going to be talked about after this, I realize that the sales tax being asked for is only 1 cent per dollar, not the 2 cents for the hotel. But again, people of the city of Wichita, you know, businesses don't generally advertise what their sales tax rate is as people enter the store, but when people make purchases at these stores, they will be paying more than otherwise. And I still have one question that no one's really been able to answer. If this hotel, or if the retail development that you'll be talking about in a moment at Central and Oliver, if they think they need to collect more revenue from their customers, why can't they just raise their prices? Why do we have to go through this roundabout process where extra sales tax is collected by the state, shipped to Topeka, administrative costs are incurred, and then it comes back to Wichita only to be distributed back to those people at the beginning? So those are my remarks. These are things I think that we should talk about at the public hearing for both of these issues whenever that happens. And I'd, of course, be happy to answer a question if there is one.
Councilmember Skelton?
Bob, thanks for bringing that up. I think I've been on the record as saying that we need to have some kind of consumer notification. So I agree with you. So those are my comments.
Are you saying that you would like to?
I think it's reasonable that people know that they're going into a CID district. You know, when we sat here and discussed forming these districts, those were my comments, and I haven't changed my mind. I just feel that it's proper that people know what kind of taxes they're paying wherever they shop. I am supporting CID projects and districts, but I also support consumer notification.
Okay. Mr. Manager, and if this is okay with the council, that we start let's look and see what some of the other cities that are using CIDs and what are they doing out there.
Mayor, in terms of notification?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Mayor.
Is there anyone else? Oh, sorry.
All right. Thank you. On the notification, got to consider, I understand the point that both sides would make on notification, but that is a double-edged sword. Not everybody is fully aware of the changing sales tax districts from whether it be Goddard, Andover, Wichita, Derby. I mean, every one of those municipalities changes. We don't have very well-defined city boundaries on all of these cities, and you could go across the street, say, a shopping center that's in the city of Wichita, and across the street's one that's in Andover or Bel Air or Derby, and not realize that it changes across the street. There's no requirement for notification anywhere. There's no requirement for notification for the Get and Best tax within our hotels. I mean, we've all been in situations where we go to places and we get the bill and they have additional prices incurred. But typically, when you're quoted the price at the register at a retail venue, you have at that choice, at that opportunity, you have a choice whether to continue with your purchase or return the items and leave and go somewhere else. So I think the consumer still has the opportunity to make a decision. I don't want to turn around and create these districts and then handicap them by having to say, with further government regulation, that 25% of your sign at the street announce this be a CID district, or you just have to put a plaque by the register that no one ever notices. That's not in good taste either. So I think that if we consider making a decision like that, and I'm not saying I would be opposed to it, but if we consider making a decision of mandating notification, we consider the full scope and ramifications of it and fairness across the board on how we notify people of sales tax or any other taxes that may be imposed by our municipality or any others. So.
Are there any others? Seeing that there are no others, we'll return the discussion back to the bench. And at this time, I move that the City Council take the staff's recommended action.
Second.
Heard the motion. It's been properly seconded. Are there any questions? Being no questions, Madam Clerk, would you please prepare a ballot? Cast a vote. Madam Clerk, display for the record. And the motion passes 5-1. Correction, it's 5-0 with Councilmember Gray abstaining. I forgot about that.